We're here.
Recording in progress.
Bam. And we are recording again. Welcome to the rehearsal stage. If this is your first time with us, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. I want to know who my first timers are. Let me go to the chat. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Hey, Dr. Mary in the house. See, I'm on my coffee, so I'm a little pumped up. Dr. Mary in the house. We got Stephanie in the house. Let's see, Alana, first time. Oh my goodness. We're going to be gentle with you, Alana. Welcome. If this is your second time with us on the rehearsal stage, now some of you are with me all week. On the rehearsal stage, second time, put a 2 in the chat. Second timers, meaning that you're back for more. And if we're stuck with you, like I'm stuck with Dr. Seegers and she's stuck with me, put family in the chat. I want to know where my family is. Where you at, family? Sandra, yes, Sandra's family. Absolutely. Stephanie, second time. Welcome back, love. Sandra, you have to leave early. Dr. C, okay, all right. I completely understand. Sometimes it's that way. But listen, let me say this. I am so honored that you would spend this Saturday with me because I'm here to tell you, one of my philosophies is this. I believe that weekends make us weak. Weekends make us weak. We work 40 hours a week, some of you 80 hours a week somehow for somebody else to help somebody else accomplish their mission. And then when we get some time for ourselves, to invest seeds in ourselves, to plug into God's calling for our life and get closer to it, we flop. We hide behind the television screen. We relax. We do a lot of running around for other people that has nothing to do with our purpose. We don't let those people figure it out on their own. We plug into what I call obligation because we're obligated to do certain things. And so weekends make us weak. So here we are dispensing all this energy for other people's missions and to help other people to fulfill their life goals. But then we're not doing what we're called to do. And so I'm honored that you would step up to the rehearsal stage on Saturday and give me an opportunity to not make your weekend weak. So if this is your first time here, let me say that I will be sending you into a breakout group in a second. Listen, there is no way that you can be successful in this industry if you run every time there's an opportunity to speak in a room filled with strangers. And if you can, go ahead and turn on your cameras. If you can't, I completely understand because some of you are driving. Some of you are at work right now. And I appreciate you showing up to the rehearsal stage even though you are at work. But if you can't, keep your cameras off. But if you can, go ahead and turn it on. Thank you, Alana. Look at you. Thank you, Dr. Mary. So good to see you. Yes. Okay, so today, loves, we're going to take your future on the test drive. Raise your digital hand or raise your hand if it is your calling, your mission to do what you see me doing, growing your community, speaking on stage, either in person or face-to-face. Raise your hand or raise your digital hand. To raise your digital hand, you're simply going to go along your toolbar at the bottom and press raise hand. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Alana. Thank you. Now go ahead and press lower hand to lower your hand. One of the reasons why I have you do that is because you are here to take your future on a test drive. And I want you to get used to the system. Right now, we are on Zoom. Zoom is a very popular platform for hosting your communities, your groups, your workshops. It's really, really good. And let me tell you why. The quality on Zoom is so good that you can actually take whatever it is that you are making and you can repurpose it. I mean, that is the beautiful part about this knowledge-based business is that you get to repurpose the things, the content that you create, and you get to make money over and over and over again. Okay, yeah, please come back, Chandra. Log back in if you're having some technical issues. It will happen, even with Zoom. And so what I want to do now is I want to take you on a test drive of your future, and then I'm going to send you into your breakout rooms. And along the way, I'm going to be releasing some pro tips. Because my goal today with you is to give you so much information, not fire hose you, but to spoon feed you information so that when you get off this call, you feel even more empowered, even more confident that you are now ready to go and launch your events, whatever it is that God is calling you to do. And with that said, let me say, loves, that you do not have to know the how right now. You don't. When God calls you to do something, just be obedient. He's not asking you to know the how. Just step into it, be obedient, and trust me. Just like we talked about last Tuesday when we talked about learning the level of your next language, God will tutor you. You will learn. So as we go through this process of taking your future on the test drive, I want you to start thinking about, because some of you already know, start thinking about the next event that you want to launch. And I don't want you to worry about the how, because with the steps that we are about to go through now, some of you are going to gain ground on your how. So there are some things that you can start doing right now without having the money. Because some of you are like, listen, I don't really have the finances to launch this thing that's in my head right now. Again, you're not worried about the how. God supplies. All you have to do is position yourself. And I can almost guarantee you that most of you already have everything you need to launch, to grow your communities right now laying around the house. So one of the things I want you to consider is your Zoom background. Your Zoom background is so important. Some of you are going to want to use chat meetup spaces like Google Meet. I will advise you don't do it, because the quality on sites like or apps like Google Meet is so substandard that you can't repurpose it. You won't be able to. When I say repurpose, I mean, like, how many of you ever did multi-level marketing before? Multi-level marketing? Anyone didn't? Okay. Multi-level marketing, you get paid over and over and over again for what you did one time. There will come a time in this knowledge-based industry where you're going to say, well, I taught a class on 3 ways to build a team without crushing your budget one time. One time I taught a class about how to lose weight without counting calories. I taught a class on this and that. And you're going to say, well, I want to repurpose it because more people want to learn about it, but I don't want to keep getting on screen talking about the same thing over and over and over again. But I want to make money off what I did that one time. That's how you repurpose. That is why the content creation business is so valuable, because you're able to make money in your sleep that way. And so your videos have to be quality. So one of the things I want you to consider again is your Zoom background. Now you see my Zoom background is of me. I'm very, I love nature. So I'm naturesque, I guess you can say. I love your living walls because I want it to be pleasing to you guys. But at the same time, I know that I'm going to spend a lot of time in this space and I want to be in this space. Some of you will want to create more simpler, luxurious type backgrounds. That's absolutely fine. But some of the things I want you to be mindful of: when you set up your community, do not set it up in front of a bathroom. We don't want to see the bathroom in the back. We don't want to see a bed in your background unless you're on vacation. If you're on vacation, if you are on a yacht and you're zooming from there, we love that. That's absolutely fine. We don't want you zooming from high traffic areas where people are constantly walking around and pacing back and forth. It's distracting. We do, however, we love when you bring your fur babies on, because if that is in alignment with your ideal audience, the cats, the dogs, the monkeys and birds, whatever you got, it makes us connect to you. I want you to repeat after me. People buy me before they buy my product. People buy me before they buy my product. One more time. People buy me before they buy my product. That's right, because people buy you before they buy your product. Used to be a time where you could just have a great product. I mean, a really great product, and people would just buy. But now people want to know, how are you giving back to the community? How do you act? How do you mesh with other ethnic groups? They want to know that. And it's important to them before they purchase from you. And cats and dogs and sometimes children. Now, we don't want to hear dogs barking consistently in the background. We don't want to hear kids crying consistently in the background. We don't want to see you stopping every 5 seconds to say, hold on, let me feed my baby. We don't want that. But those brief opportunities where you let us into your life is so important. That is why on social media, For your social media, you should not just post your business on your social media. You have to give us a glimpse of how you are living the lifestyle. We want to see a glimpse of you with your family. You don't have to tell us your whole entire business. We don't need to know what you're eating 3 and 4 or 5 times a day, but we want that insight. And when you do that, it builds your brand because people buy you before they buy your product. That's really important because when you host your events, my loves, people will sometimes research you before they attend your events, before they opt in into the offers that you're probably going to make and should be making during your events. Very important, because I want you to keep this in mind. It takes know, like, and trust before you're able to sell anyone. They have to know you, they have to like you, they have to trust you. I can't tell you how many hairstylists I walked away from and they were absolutely amazing. I mean, they were amazing, Heidi. They were amazing, Chandra. But I couldn't get into their personality. I'm like, you can't be in my hair, smoking cigarettes, cursing, popping gum, jumping on the phone every 5 seconds, because for me, it feels like you're performing a ritual on my head. I don't like you. I got to go. I can't do this. You can't put this voodoo and woodoo on me for 2 hours in my head, in my scalp that's so close to my brain and my mind. All right? So, it takes know, like, and trust. And our clients, they do not run a credit check on us. Before someone buys your program, they are not going to run a credit check on you. But what they will do is they will go to social media to see what they can uncover about you, because your social media account is your FICO score by which they measure you by. Your social media is the thing that gives you credit. Dr. Maya Angelou said that the information that people know about you should be used to your advantage. The information that people know about you should be used to your advantage. So you want to be on social media because people are going to scour the internet for information about you. And whether you have 5 followers or 5,000 followers, you have an opportunity to control the message. So start posting on social media if you have not. It doesn't matter if you get 2 likes or 4 likes. And by the way, social media rarely makes you money. Some of you are going to do your events and you will post your events only on Facebook, only on Instagram. And people may like you. They may press like. They may press like because they like your outfit, because they like you, because they're family. But that does not mean that they're going to show up or register for your event. You need other modalities outside of social media. You need paid ads on social media, which is really amazing. And then you also need your organic ads, which is your non-paid ads, your free ads. And usually your audience or your next clients is usually already you're on your list. If you take a Excel document, and on that Excel document, everybody's familiar with Excel, right? Okay, great. I love in the beginning when my clients use the Excel document before they stand up their CRM system. If you're going to be in this knowledge-based industry, you're going to need a CRM system. CRM stands for Client Relationship Management. Client Relationship Management. It is how you sit and you make one email and you send it to 5s and thousands and 10,000s and hundreds of thousands of people at once. And it's so personalized, it seems like it's just from you to them. Now, when you set up your CRM system, there's a whole other stack of strategies and techniques that go along with that as well. But when you market and you use your CRM system, you are able to take all of the email addresses, phone numbers, the people you've met, and when you put it on that Excel document, you can then convert it to what's called a CSV sheet. CSV. Your CRM system will automatically ask you for your CSV sheet, and you upload it. And then you start spreading the good news. Hey, everybody, I am a speaker. Hey, everybody, I am a life coach. Hey, everybody, I got this brick and mortar business. Even if you are not a speaker and you're on this call and you have a brick and mortar business, meaning you're in the financial sector, you're in the fashion sector, maybe the food sector, massage sector. When you take what it is that you do and you combine it with speaking gigs, that's how you hit six figures, love. That is how you hit six figures. When you take what you do and you say, you know what, I've been in this fashion game for about 10 years and I only get paid when I sell an outfit. And these outfits are very buyer specific, meaning they got to like the colors, they got to be this size in order to get into it. They got to like this type of fabric. But wow, instead of just concentrating on that, look, I'm going to show you I wasn't always faith-based. Jay-Z said, I got a million ways to get it, choose one. I'm going to create another line of effort and show people how they can build their fashion business as well. And I am going to take this brick and mortar business and take it to the next level because people are going to pay me $5,000 a gig just to do that. Just to step on stage and speak for 30 to 45 minutes. Secrets on how to build your own business in the financial sector, in the health sector, in the wealth sector, in the relationship sector. I'm going to show them how to do this. Oh, I wrote a book. I'm going to take this book that maybe sells less than 100 copies a year. I know how to make money off this book. I know. I'm going to show other people how to write their books. And I'm going to come up with this catchy slogan, something like how to write your next bestseller in less than 30 days. Ooh, that's going to sell like hotcakes because everybody and their mama had it in them to write a book. And the graveyard is filled with people and dreams and books that were never written and songs that were never written and businesses that were never started. Ooh, I'm going to get it out of them. And that's what you're going to do. Yeah. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to move my chair out the way and let me move this light. I have it right here on purpose because I want to show you guys something. Now, some of you have already been to my class on, I think it was called Building Camera Confidence, Building Camera Confidence or something like that. I forgot what the title was. It was maybe last year sometime. And I gave you guys just some tips on how to build your home studio. I want you to identify a spot in your house that you can use for your classes because you can actually turn this into a home-based business. Do your full-time job, whatever it is that you do. And then at night, I want you to build your home-based business. Jim Rohn said, work full-time on your job and work part-time on your fortune. And keep working part-time on your fortune until you're making enough money where you are surpassing what you are making at your full-time job. So you can retire yourself and continue to work on your fortune, building your legacy. So you're going to start working part-time on your fortune. All right. So you already I'm sure, have the lighting. But what I want you to keep in mind is you can't just trust the lighting that's above you, that ceiling light. You need what's called a surround light. The surround light can come from a few different places, but here's an O-ring I brought to the table. This O-ring, it works wonders. Oh my goodness. Gloves, when I tell you my skin don't look like this at all in person, it don't. The O-ring and the zoom and the combination of things, it just makes things pop, So you need a good O-ring. Now, after you get the O-ring, I recommend that you get the photography lights. Here is one of the photography lights that I use, right? And I have 2 photography lights on right now. And I'm glad that the photography light did that for a second because I'm going to show you something. Whatever space you use, you want to make sure the window is in front of you, not behind you. If you do have a window behind you, make sure it's closed. Otherwise, it is going to blind your audience and it's going to be excruciating. Like this right here is excruciating for some of you right now. It is excruciating to ask your attendees to sit there and watch you for an hour blinded. Let me show you what it looks like when you blind your audience with your windows open, okay? And the entire time, I'm talking to you like this. It looks like maybe there's an alien or something behind me, especially if you have your bright lights. behind you as well. All right, you see how dark that looks? That looks horrible. So you don't want to do that. So let me put everything back into position. Move these lights out the way. Close my shutters here. Raise my lighting here as well, so that you guys don't see it. All right, there we go. A little bit better. All right, so that's one thing I want you to consider, your lighting. The next thing I want you to do is consider your colors. If, for example, my ideal audience, if I was helping clients to overcome trauma, especially if I know that they had PTSD in their background, I would not have a background that is as colorful as this. And I definitely would not wear colors that mix like this. I would have solid colors, because you have to keep in mind that clients that have trauma in the past, a lot of times they're easy to trigger. So all those beautiful, colorful PowerPoint slides that you use, I highly recommend that you do not use them, because you can trigger them. All you need is black and white. But you will know, you'll be able to make your CEO decision on that based on your, your research of your ideal audience, all right? So you're going to make sure you research your ideal audience, and then you'll make that decision based on that. Now, you have your lighting, you know your dress, you're going to more than likely wear solid colors. And then you don't want to wear a lot of busy colors as well. If you're like on the news, I've been on the news a few times, because it looks wavy, it looks disoriented, and you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure you wear solid colors. So keep that in mind. The next thing I want you to consider is your sound. You want to make sure that you are not just relying on your computer sound. So right now I'm using a Blue Yeti. This is my Blue Yeti. I also have a travel Blue Yeti. This is the one I use for travel. I want you to see the size difference. So when I'm traveling, I use a smaller Blue Yeti. I just fold this thing up and put it in my suitcase and we're off. But at home, I use this wonderful bigger version of a Blue Yeti, and it is amazing. All right. So the Blue Yeti, there are a lot of great microphones out there as well that you can consider using, but I like the Blue Yeti. The Blue Yeti, it only costs about $100 or so. You can go to bestbuy.com. Go to bestbuy.com, type in Blue Yeti. You can order it, and then when you pull up to Best Buy, they will bring it out to your car. That way, when you go inside, you don't get distracted with buying a whole bunch of other stuff like I do. The other thing I want you to consider when you're setting up your platform is make sure that you are logging in from a second source. So you see here I am here, and then you look over there, you see another one of me, right? Over there. Log in from a second source, because if my computer freezes or if I share a slide, I don't want to have to keep asking you, can you see me? Can you see the slide? The only thing I have to do is either look to my right and look at the monitor right there, and I can see everything that you're seeing, because I want to be able to control the energy of my workshop. And I don't want to have to keep saying, can you see me? Can you hear me? No, I don't want to do that. All right. So log in from a second source. A cell phone would be great. A laptop would be great. Or another computer monitor would be great as well. Okay. The earphones. Now, when you log in and you are up and running, it is advised that you use some sort of a earplug or earmuff. Now you look, I don't even hear this. Now you have your earpods or your earplugs here that you can use. I love these as well, because it just fits right in, especially up under my head wrap. If you do use this, be aware if you wear earrings that your earring can constantly hit it and it can be a distraction. So make sure if you're wearing earrings, the earrings are not a distraction hitting it when you're speaking. And then also only use one at a time, because the case usually comes with two. You use one at a time. That way, if one goes dead, only thing you have to do is put it back in the case and pick up the other one and stick it in your ear, and you keep going. All right, just a little pro tip on that. So one at a time, it works very well. I don't like using these because it looks really big on me when I'm speaking, so it's not my thing. But you also have the little My Prerogative Janet Jackson mics that you can that you can use. Those are really nice. I just don't like having the lapel pin on me. That's no fun for me. Okay, so let me show you what it sounds like when I am just operating off of the computer sound and I am not using my microphone. I have glasses around here. I got like several pairs of glasses. Just one will do. Just one. Okay, here we go. All right. So this is what it, microphone built in. Okay, so now I'm speaking to you on my Blue Yeti, and now I'm gonna switch to my computer. Okay, my microphone is off, and now I am speaking to you from my computer. You should hopefully be able to tell the difference in between the computer sound quality. And I want you to think about if you had to listen to this throughout the presentation on a pre-recorded video as well, because remember, we're thinking about repurposing our content. And now I'm going to go back to my Blue Yeti EX. Okay, now I am back to my Blue Yeti, and you guys should be able to see the difference in the sound quality. All right, great. So get a microphone. That's my whole point. If you do not have a microphone, your earpods work beautifully, especially when you're on the go. It's a better quality than just using the computer sound. The next thing I want you to do as you're setting up and taking your future on a test drive for your platforms, I want you to make sure that the name that you have on your video box is updated. It should not say iPhone right there. When you take your mouse and you rub it all over your video rectangular box there, I want you to be cognizant of the name. Whatever name is on there, that should be the name that you want people to call you. Because with your community, most of you are probably like me where you want to build family. You're not going to call me, hey, Queen Aza, which is my real name, by the way. I'm not somebody who just attached Queen to her name in the front. I'm actually Queen the second, with my mother being Queen the first, my 8-year-old being Empress, and then my 7-year-old being Queen the third. So you want to have your name and you want it to look professional. I like writing my name in the vertical bar and then my company there. It looks much better than iPhone or just Queen. All right, so I want you to think about that, and you can also use your tagline. Now, let me show you how to update your name on your video. The only thing you have to do is take your mouse. If you rub it on your mouth over your video, and then if you go to the top right corner, you'll see 3 dots there. When you see those 3 dots, you should then be able to press it and then go down to rename. When you get to rename, just type in your name. It's real simple. And when you do this, love, it is a temporary fix. If you want it to remain that way, the only thing you have to do is go into your settings. In other words, you log off, you're on Zoom, but you're not on a Zoom call. And then you go to settings. Any information you want to know about Zoom, the only thing you have to do is really go to YouTube and do step by step. It's real easy to do. All right, any questions so far before I keep going? Any questions? Just unmute if you have a question. Okay. Now, you have updated your name. Your Zoom background is right? And don't go trying to spend a lot of money. You can put like a stack of books in your background. You can find a nice wall with one picture. You don't have to go overboard with your background. You really don't. So don't overthink it. I'm just saying, just make sure it's presentable. Like, I shouldn't have this chair scooted over here. I'm doing a presentation. So you want to make sure it's presentable. Don't have a trash can in the background and it's filled with trash. Like, no trash in it. It's okay if you got a cute little trash can in the background, but no trash. I want you to grade your Zoom background using your internal scale on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 meaning my Zoom background is fire, and 1 meaning, oh my goodness, it needs some work. So I want you, and please don't be in the closet. We don't want to see your clothes. Don't do it from a closet, all right? Now, the other thing I want you to consider is your lighting. If you don't have a lot of lighting, The great thing about Zoom is that I need to get me an affiliate with Zoom because I'm telling you, I be promoting them. So the only thing you have to do is if you see at the bottom of your screen where it says stop video, you see where the toolbar is, you'll see stop video. Right next to stop video, you'll see this arrow that looks like this, right next to stop video. You're gonna press that arrow. Let me put on my glasses so I can walk you through it very quickly. When you press that arrow, the only thing you have to then do is go to video settings, arrow, video settings. Once you get to video settings, you will see your video there. Or if you don't see it, go to video. You will see general and then you'll see video. Click video. When you click video, excuse me. When you click video, I want you to look up under your video. Up under your video, you will see something that says my video, and it'll say touch up my appearance. And then it'll also say adjust for low light. If you go to touch up my appearance, you can drag it up and down and it will make your skin glow. It'll just fade out the wrinkles and the spots and all that other stuff. Or you can take it all the way down if you think it makes you look too pale. It is completely up to you. It's like a filter. So touch up my appearance. So you want to make sure you check touch up my appearance and then you just control the bar. Then after that, you want to adjust for light. So if I turn my light all the way down, it looks like that on Zoom. And if I turn it all the way up, it looks like that. So I'm going to find some type of a happy medium there. All right, and you're going to touch up your light. And there's some other things you can do. You can play around with it, but get to know Zoom and you can figure out the setting that you like. I love this adjust for low light option because it is so profitable when it comes to your workshops and not having your photography lights and everything. Like right now, I don't have all my photography lights on. I just have on the O-ring light. That light is now off and this one is on dim. Okay, there you go. All right, we're back. So that is another thing. So you've already renamed yourself. You've checked the lighting and the audio. And then now you're just about ready to go on to your platform. Now, when you go on to your platform, my loves, one of the things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to introduce yourself. Because I know that most of you know me, we only have one person, it's her first time. Because most of you know me, I don't like to spend a lot of time talking about myself. I don't like to come on and introduce myself, but it is a necessary thing. You have to. And so because I don't want to introduce myself to you guys over and over and over again, as you saw, you watched the video. So that video was my introduction. There is a video of me in the waiting room. And then when you come on for the first 4 minutes, there's also a video that you watch. Some about my services. It also includes me, my family, and things like that. I highly recommend that you create something like that as well, because when you first come on, I don't care, especially if you're doing like 3-day workshops. Raise your hand if you plan on doing a 3-day workshop or a 2-day workshop, something like that. Okay, great. Especially when you're doing workshops, every day you have to do like a light introduction. So day 1, you have to do a heavy introduction. Day 2, you do a light introduction. Then on day 3, you might just say, hey, y'all, I'm Coach Queen. I am your kingdom business strategist and motivational speaker. I am a speaker that coaches other faith-driven women on how to speak. So then you could just say that and you can keep going. If you do not do that, love, your drop-off rate will be high. In other words, people who are just showing up on day 2 because they missed day 1, they will show up on day 2 and be like, who is this lady? And then they'll vamos, they will go. So you have to do that. The video helps you to do that. So you want to maybe consider creating a video about yourself. Doesn't have to be long, 2 minutes long. If you do not have a lot of content out there to create a compilation with, then that's absolutely fine. You can you know how they got the selfie sticks? When I was in Korea, I bought the little selfie stick for the first time and fell in love with it. You can take a video of yourself just running and just doing different things. You're not talking, just record yourself doing different things. You come back, most of you hopefully have Canva, C-A-N-V-A, canva.com. You can come back, take all those videos, put it onto Canva, create a video, or you can take those videos and plug it into your iMovie, whatever editing software you have, and you do what's called a voiceover, and you just talk. And you can say, you know, are you struggling with trauma? Are you an encourager? But on the other side of the wall, you can't get over the fact that this happened to you when you were in high school. Well, hi, I'm Tina. I'm Lisa. I'm Michelle. I'm here to help you with this. You see, and you just tell a little story, maybe 2 minutes, just a voiceover. And it is very effective, very effective. Okay, all right, so your attendees watch that video, and then you come on and you're able to hit the ground running. Any questions so far? Let me see, let me check the chat. For questions? Okay, all right, okay, great. All right, great. Hey, Chandra, did you get your audio fixed? You're good? Pop in the chat, yes or no? Hopefully you got it fixed. Okay, wonderful. All right, so now you are with your audience. So now you're like, Queen, you know, I have my audience, my attendees in front of me. Now what do I do? For most of you, it's going to be so easy, because let me say that, you see how long I'm talking right now? That's because I'm explaining a lot to you, but I stop every once in a while and I ask you if you have any questions. I need for you to understand that when you are speaking, especially to a community or a group, most people come because they want to be seen, heard, and felt. They do. They want an opportunity to be seen, heard, and felt. So they don't need you to keep talking and talking and talking and talking the entire time. They need an opportunity to go out and release themselves. The less you talk, the better the event will be. The less you talk, the better your event will be. Now, unless you're called to be a subject matter expert on something, and they just need to sit there and listen to you, especially like in in-person events. But when you're speaking with your community, give them an opportunity to talk. And a lot of them will not like breakout rooms. Like some of you, when I send you to a breakout room, you will not like it. But it's necessary. It is so necessary. So I said all that to say that when you are in front of your community, find ways to make it engaging. For those of you that are powerhouses already in the community, there's a video in your modules about gamification. You can go in and watch that. And you can come up with different ways to keep your community engaged. Some of the ways you keep them engaged is through gamification. For example, you may do Spin the Wheel. Spin the Wheel is a free app. You can go to the internet, type in Spin to Win or Spin the Wheel into the hyperlink of your browser. It'll come up and you plug in the name of all your attendees. You have a virtual assistant who will more than likely do that for you. And then when the wheel stops, you give that person a prize. Or you can gamify it by saying whoever takes the most notes at the end, if you have at the end, take your notes, take a picture of it, and whoever has the most notes, I will give them $100 Barnes & Noble gift card or Amazon gift card. I love giving downloadable gifts because you do not want to have to go to the post office and mail stuff off, right? So keep that in mind, gamification. All right, any questions so far? Any questions? Unmute if you have a question and go ahead and ask. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to send you into a breakout room. I want you to go into the room and just kind of learn from each other. You're taking your future on a test drive. You've already updated your Zoom name, hopefully, because how you do something one time is how you always do things. And so I want you to always be of the mind when you show up into the space that you're not just Queen, that you're Coach Queen, CEO of Proverbs 31 Powerhouses. And so I need for you to show up that way. And so you want to make sure your Zoom name is updated, which by the way is a great marketing opportunity in this industry. Anything that you can do to give you a slight edge, even if it is a 1% slight edge, you want to do it. And simply updating your name, putting your company name, whether your company is established or not, we're going to go ahead and speak it into the future right now by go ahead and putting your name out there, because I need for you guys to understand that your future is already set. It's just waiting on you to catch up with it. So I need for you to go ahead and start being that CEO now. And so your lighting with your camera, one of the things that I recommend is that when you are speaking, you should have at least 2 fingers of space between your head and the top of what they can see. And then when you're speaking, you should switch angles every once in a while, because the adult attention span is so short that if I stand like this the entire time, people will tune out and they will skedaddle. So sometimes when you speak, you'll be like this for maybe about 5 minutes. Then you may be over here on the side for about 5 minutes, and then here as well, right? And that's why a lot of people have the question about PowerPoint slides. Should I use PowerPoint slides? My answer is I love PowerPoint slides, but at a minimum. 2 or 3 PowerPoint slides is really great, because you need to constantly be changing the frame in order to keep their attention. Another way of changing the frame and keeping their attention is to have somebody to come on and speak for like 5 minutes. So even if somebody unmutes and talks, when that person talks, it gives the attendees an opportunity to re-engage with the energy, because the frame has just changed. So if it is in alignment with the mission of your workshop or the community you're growing, allow people to come on and speak, because it helps you to change the frame. All right, any questions? You guys are quiet today. Very quiet. Okay, all right. And then, so I already told you about the 2 fingers here. The other thing I want you to be cognizant of, how far you should be away from your screen. Act as though you're shaking their hand, right? So if I reach out my hand, I am touching my computer. And that's about how far I should be away from my screen. You do not want to be like this. Imagine if I was talking to you like this the entire time. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Right? I look like a bobblehead. And you don't want to be too far back, because then your mic can't pick you up. Now, there is so much body language from here on up that you want them to get that body language. That you want them to, because it speaks as well. You don't want them to be curious about what you got on and all that good stuff. Give them the body language. All right. Another thing you want to be cognizant of is you do not want to, let's bring this down. This is a computer stand. You can get this off Amazon. It's just one lever and you're good. You don't want this like I'm looking down on you, because in the back of their mind, it's like she's belittling me. She's being condescending when I'm talking to you. So you don't want to do that. And then another thing you don't want to do, and I don't think my stand will allow me to do it, is you don't want to be like this talking to your people, right? Because now you look like a little girl and people don't want to believe you, because now you look like their child. So you want to make sure, and all of this is important. I always say in this knowledge-based industry, you got to grow up before you blow up. And these little small things will absolutely help you to take your business to the next level. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Okay. All right, now, so for those of you, go ahead, my love. Ooh, get it. We got a question. Go ahead, love.
Yes, I have a question. Okay, so if you're the only one that is operating like you know how you're like talking to us and then you click on certain things to like make it pop up like my website or like a question or thank you for joining and things like that. So how can you like do both? Like, because you're looking down to make sure you're clicking on it, and then also you're coming like you don't want to look down and then you look back up at them, and it's like it's so new to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you want to know, if I heard you right, you want to know, how do you tackle all of the different tools and systems when it's just you when you're a solopreneur? But at the same time, you don't want to miss out on the energy of your attendees. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so one thing I would suggest is don't do it alone. Get you a virtual assistant. Usually I have Yanni with me, but because I only invited a small group today, I said, Yanni, go ahead and enjoy. Yanni is out in Israel. Go ahead and take the day off. But when I have larger groups, I definitely want my VA here, because I do not want to disrupt the energy of me being able to align with you guys. Smaller groups is so much easier. The other thing I want to show you is this. I'm going to open it up real fast. Great question. This is the documents. Now, are you familiar with Google Documents, Stephanie?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you what I usually use with my virtual assistants. And this is going to help you out, especially as a solopreneur, because you can build it for yourself. And it helps you to think about what you need to do when you are training. In the military, we did something called backwards training. Anybody ever heard of backwards training or backwards planning, shall I say? Not training, backwards planning. In the military, we have something called backwards planning. They use it, CEOs, Fortune 500 companies use it as well. But with backwards planning, it just means that you just start from the outcome that you want and you just work backwards and you start planting seeds to get to where you are now. And so let me show you how I do that. All right, so this is a document. This is actually, let me open this up, make it bigger a little bit. One of the things I recommend is that you do, you go to Google Documents. If you have a Gmail account, Google Documents is free. The only thing you have to do is type in Google.documents. And everyone should be working off Google Documents or some form that looks very similar to Google Documents, because it is how you build your SOPs, your standard operating procedures. And so let me share my screen. This is really behind the scenes stuff right here that I'm showing you. Okay, so this is like, so Kingdom Business, this is one we did for the 30th of January. It started at 10:30 a.m. And come on, pop up, pop up. If you don't see it, it should be popping up any second now. There it is. Okay. All right. And this is what I share with Yanni. You see her name over here, Yanni. And so we actually just open this document. In the intro, this is what she can just paste verbatim in blue. So some of you, when you do your communities, when you run your communities, you know that there are going to be certain questions that they're going to ask you. What are we talking about? Who is this for? Why should I be here? And so I have verbiage here for Yanni right there. If I want her to show a video, because I'm really big on edutainment. Edutainment is when you combine education and entertainment. Then I'll put the link right here. And then she knows, hey, Yanni, roll that video on Sister Act 2. And she just clicks it, for example. And it's all right there. Now, you're asking, how do you do this as a solopreneur? One, I want you to know that just because you're a solopreneur doesn't mean you have to go at it alone. And by not going at it alone, it means having systems. That is why McDonald's is so successful. McDonald's, the manager is like 15 years old at McDonald's. But for some reason, they still got over a billion served. I went to Africa. I saw the golden arches. I'm over in Central America. I see the golden arches. McDonald's is everywhere, and it's ran by teenagers. How are they able to do that? Systems. And so even though you are a solopreneur, you got to have systems. Documents like this can serve as your system. And so you sit there and you map it out. And so that way, when it's time to do something, only thing you have to do is click a link and it's all organized. Right, here's music that she can play for the breakout rooms, so on and so forth. Here's an offer that I made last February that she was, in case I wanted to pitch an offer, then she could just go in and copy it. It's the same thing for you. You can go in and you can just click it and you can have your notes right here as well. Now, as far as still learning how to click a link and then look up, one of the things I recommend to you all is to do a business shower. It's kind of like a baby shower. You can do a business shower in person, yes, but you can also do it on Zoom. Now it gives you an excellent opportunity to get out and talk about what it is that you're doing just with your family and friends. You may invite like 50 family and friends, but only 5 may show up, but you don't care. You don't care. You just need to be able to practice. This is your beta test. They don't know it's your beta test. You don't say, hey, come, I want to test this thing out on you. You don't do that. Somebody come to my business shower. And then when they come, you say, hey, listen, I'm so glad that you guys came. You know, I just launched this wonderful business, the soft opening of my life coaching business, the soft opening of my motivational speaking business is going to be on the 1st of next month. I just want to tell you guys all about it. Because you may not need my services, but I just know by the grace of God that you're going to bump into somebody who does. And when they do, I need for you to keep me in mind. Now, listen, I'm not going to keep you too long. I just want to share 3 things about my business that's going to not only help you, but it's going to also help to, bring the kingdom, God's kingdom to earth, the God that we serve, however you want to pitch it. And this is what I do. and you just share like 3 things. And you want to always give people a number because the brain always wants to know how much time I got to give to this. That's why YouTube, even articles that says 6 ways to do this, 3 ways to do that, 5 pillars to that, 8 secrets to that, it does very well because you're telling the brain up front how much time it has to dedicate to it. So that's a pro tip for another session. But they show up, and when they show up, you practice. You practice. Okay, I'm going to show you a quick video. And that's that little video I talked to you about with you. Maybe you're doing the voiceover, doing whatever it is that you're doing. And then you can practice your polls. Polls are I love using polls on Zoom. Whole other subject, but you can go to YouTube and type in polls and how to use polls to engage your audience. It's real easy to do, gives you a lot of feedback. And then you can practice your breakout rooms. You can say, hey, I'm going to give y'all one question. If you can name this business anything based off what I just told you, what would it be? I want to send you guys into a breakout room. I want you to discuss it. And when you come back, I want to hear your answers. Gives you an opportunity to work the breakout room. But don't overthink it, because when you are manipulating and using the tools like on Zoom, it's so easy to do. As long as you got your glasses on and you can see. But it's really easy to do, my loves. Does that help you?
Yes, that helps. And then one more thing.
Sure.
Because I've been starting using StreamYard, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's when it gets like so difficult.
Yeah, StreamYard is something else, especially when it comes to streaming on like Instagram, because you got to go in and add this duck app to it and all this other stuff. That's why I say, love, when you guys first do your events, do yourself a favor, hire yourself a virtual assistant to do that. And just like how you are on the rehearsal stage, rehearsing for your next big event right now, do rehearsals. So even with Yanni's been with me for a while. Even so, we still meet 10 minutes prior to every event just to go over everything, to do those technology checks. Because another side note, and I want to say this up front, when you guys ask me a question, I kind of go around the world. I do that on purpose. It's intentional because I want to make sure when I give an answer, there is something in it for everyone, not just the person who asked the question. When I'm coaching one, I'm coaching many. So hire a virtual assistant to do that. Conduct your rehearsals. It'll become a part of your SOPs, your standard operating procedures, SOPs, standard operating procedures. And meet with them at least one time before. That way you can deglitch all of the issues. And then even though you meet with them one time before, always meet with them about 20 to 30 minutes prior to the event kicking off. How many of you know that technology has its own personality? It absolutely has its own personality. So for example, with Zoom, you can rehearse on Zoom and rehearse with your videos and everything. Rehearse your screen share, which is real easy to do. Everything. But for some reason, the date of the event, everything gets glitchy. So one of the things that Zoom does, for example, for some reason, when you first get on Zoom and you press share screen, and you just wanted to share one little document or one video, for some reason, the first time you press share screen, no matter what you press, no matter what direction you give it, it shares your entire desktop. And I've seen hosts just fall apart when that happens because they have their notes right there. And they're reading verbatim. It's like a script they have created. And when they press screen share, we see all of their notes. I don't like using notes. I don't like being boxed in. But in the beginning, when you first start speaking, in the beginning, you sing karaoke until you write your own songs. There's nothing wrong with that, especially for those of you that want to use scripts. But back to the virtual assistant piece. Hire a virtual assistant. You can go to upwork.com, upwork.com. You can go to fiverr.com. Fiverr is spelled Fiverr.com, five, and then add an extra, add 2 R's to the word five, fiverr.com. And you can find a virtual assistant and you can hire one for $20 or $30. For $20 to $30, you'll take all this off my lap. That way I'm free to focus on my people. Yeah, they will do that. So please hire. And if you don't have it in your budget right now to hire someone for $20 to $30, get a cousin or a friend. And then you can also do some JVs, joint ventures. So in a second, I'll send you guys in your breakout room One of the rooms is called the networking room. And you can say, hey, listen, I'm a phenomenal speaker, or I'm a growing speaker. When you do your next event, I love to introduce you. But one area I need help with, one developmental opportunity I have is technology. Would you come and work my Zoom for my event if I come onto your event and I edify you? That is a share for share alliance. That is one type of a JV, which is known as a joint venture, JV. You can absolutely do that. Some JVs is a monetary exchange. Not all of them are just a share for share alliance. But you very well can do that and be very clear. Hey, this is a share for share alliance. I want to create long-time friends, long-time networks, and I don't want it to always be transactional. I don't always want you to be sending me a PayPal invoice or a Stripe invoice when we do stuff for each other. We just got each other's back. All right, but please get someone, delegate or hire. Delegate or hire when it comes to working the systems. Does that help, love? Does that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Oh, I like that hat. Listen, I almost put my fedora on as well today. I got like a stack of them. Okay. All right. So listen, I want to get you into the,
I
go
have a
ahead.
question.
Go ahead, Jamel. Yeah, please. I love the questions. Let's get it.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier practicing your pose. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Practicing the pose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if I can create one right now. Zoom, at the bottom of Zoom. And Jamel, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make you a co-host right from this computer over here. I'm going to make you a co-host, Janelle. I want you to see something. Okay. So now Janelle is a co-host. Because she's a co-host, she has a whole other toolbar at the bottom. Janelle, you are on a computer. Jamel, you are on the computer, right?
Yes.
So you see a whole bunch of other stuff at the bottom.
Yes.
Now, at the bottom there, do you see something that says polls and quizzes?
Let me see if I see that. Record reactions, raise hand, apps, whiteboards, notes, more. Maybe it's under more. Let's see.
More than likely it's under more. But while
Yes,
you're
pose.
looking, let me
I
just
see
talk
it.
everyone through it. Okay. So you would press polls. And then when you go to polls, you can actually create some questions like, how did you hear about me? That's a really good question because as a CEO, you want to know what marketing out there is working for you. It is called your trigger. It is called your trigger in marketing language, meaning you want to know what is that one thing that triggered them to opt into your services or to come to your platform. Because if you notice that for some reason, everybody on Eventbrite is paying attention to your marketing and showing up, or everybody that's on Facebook through your paid ads, not you just posting, I got this event on your Facebook account through paid ads. Oh my goodness, this is really working. Then you're gonna make a CEO decision and start pumping more money into that one thing that's working. It's called a trigger. So on your polls, you may say, how did you hear about us? And then you can create answers. Facebook, Instagram, one of the events I did, Google. I love Google ads, Google, so on and so forth. And you just click it. And then the next question might be about them, because the poll questions are not just cute little things, they serve a purpose. The next poll question might be something along the lines of, where are you in your business journey or whatever sector you're in? And then you may say, and you can make it cute. You can say, are you at the seed level? And you can define seed. Are you at the sprout level? Meaning you're just coming out, you're less than 2 years, define sprout. Or you can say, I'm just starting. I'm in ideation. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just breaking mental ground. And you can break it down like that. So because, for example, if I gave all of you a poll and you said you had been in business for like 10 years and you have made over, you're making over 200K a year, presentation wouldn't go like this. Right now, I would switch. We're going to start talking about some KPIs, which are your key performance indicators. We're going to start talking about your conversion rates, all this other different language, right? It wouldn't be that. So you're going to get that information so that you understand how to direct the energy of your workshop. You don't want to speak under, but you definitely don't want to speak so far over. So the poll questions will help you to get the information that you need. And it only takes a second to create your polls. Only thing you have to do is press poll. Everybody gets to see it. They can vote right there on their screen. It only takes a few seconds. And then you have the option of allowing everyone to see the poll results, or you can just keep it for yourself. But
So
the
where
poll,
is on a you just made me host, so I saw it. But if I'm the host, it's always there.
if you are the host, it is always there. As long as when you go into your Zoom settings, as long as that poll button is checked, that you
Oh,
want
yeah.
to use polls. And
Okay.
if you have any questions about polls or how to set it up, if you go to YouTube, like 1,001 people there, just open up the YouTube and go step by step with them. It's so simple to do. And I'm so glad you asked that question because I'm sure that somebody else had that question as well.
Yeah. And so I want to say, you are definitely a powerhouse of knowledge. This is my first time, so I didn't raise my hand, but I'm a first time.
Oh, welcome.
I am so impressed with your knowledge and the fluidity with which you speak it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I received that by the grace of God. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm an old, what they call an old timer. And I mean that lovingly. I'm not disparaging myself, but you are in this generation. I'm 77 years old, so I am not in this generation. And so I'm learning, but I'm learning a lot because I do videos, and I don't know if you've heard of EFT, emotional freedom technique. I'm a practitioner of that. And so I'm just beginning to do the kinds of things you're talking about, but it's not a zip, zip, zip thing for me. And so I'm learning a lot on this presentation. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And thank you for coming. Thank you for trusting your Saturday with us. Yes. So, any other questions or insights or thoughts? Okay. All right. So, I'm going to send you into your breakout rooms. Before I get you into your breakout rooms, I'm going to give you an opportunity to join the Proverbs 31 Powerhouse Path. Now, let me say, if your yay is a yay, keep yay. If your yay, if it's a nay, stay nay. It's absolutely fine. There is no pressure. But I'll be remiss if I did not extend the invitation for you guys to become a Proverbs 31. I'm going to drop the link to this in the chat just in case you're interested in joining the Proverbs 31 Powerhouse community. This is 1 year with me. You get 1 year of coaching with me in a semi-private group, meaning there are normally less than 10 powerhouse women on every call with you. So you don't feel like a number. This is one-on-one attention that you're getting from me. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat. You can go in and you can read more and more. We focus on spirituality, speaking, sales, and strategy. If you have less than 5 years in the knowledge-based industry, speaking, life coaching, and you want to build your business and you want to build it in a way that it aligns with God, this is the program for you. There's no other program out there for you like this one. This video actually shows you, gives you a little bit of background information about the experience of what it is like to be with us. And this is all you get. We meet every 2 weeks. You get the rehearsal stage, you get video replays. So when you can't show up for your semi-coaching calls, you can watch the video replays. You get access to just, oh my goodness, it's so many training videos in the modules, but it is the live training that really tops the cake. It is the community that takes this thing to the next level. So the program, we're going to go over how to coach and grow rich. It's valued at $5K. How to speak and grow rich is valued at $6K. Content, for those of you that want to be content creators and make money in your sleep, valued at $5K. And also sales. How do I sell? Queen, I've been in corporate. I get paid on the 1st and 15th. I don't know how to hunt. I've been domesticated. I don't know how to ask for my money. We're going to talk about that, valued at $6K. But you get every last one of these programs for just $2,500. Now, if you're like, Queen, $2,500, that's a lot of money to me right now. I got a lot going on. That's absolutely fine. You have an option. The full investment is $2,500, or you can break it down to 6 smaller investments of $500 a month. There is no credit check. And as soon as you make either payment, the door is open. The door is open. So you have these 2 investment options here. You get to choose your path. And mid-May, we are launching our Fearless Founder Speaking Program. We're going to turn you into a speaker in 90 days. It is a 90-day challenge. And when you complete the challenge in everything it entails, you would get your Fearless Founder Award, which is so amazing. Now down here, it's got some questions. These questions right here are all answered inside of the actual program. And if you want to look at all of the testimonials that we have from folks in our community, folks who are actual clients, we got all of these testimonials. These are real testimonials. I did not pay for any of these testimonials. And then there are a lot more testimonials. You can hit load here. Lots more testimonials here. Lots. And it keeps going. You can load more. And then if you want to learn just a little bit about me, then you have all this information here that you can read about as well, about my adventures of being the first African-American female in field artillery history to earn the rank of first sergeant. When I was in the Navy, because I was in the Army as a field artillery first sergeant. In the Navy, I was one of the first females to serve on the USS Wasp. My 2 vegan restaurants, speaking engagements, so on and so forth. So I'm going to drop this link. And if you have any questions, you can always get on my calendar. We can take it to the next level. You know, I want to show you what some of the modules look like. Here are some of the modules. This is just your orientation modules right here. So that, because I know that for some of you, you're not familiar with the coaching relationship. We're going to get you acquainted with these modules here. Some of the video replays here that we've been through. Oh, look at that. Yeah, this one was a really good one. Special ingredients for your chat GPT. That's a very powerful one, especially for those of you that are paralyzed. You're tired of walking around with all these ideas. Last year, you had this idea to launch a platform. Last year, you had this idea to do these live videos. Last year, and you got the same ideas taking up mental space right now. It is time to unleash it. This training right here was amazing for that. This one, Becoming the Woman of Your Dreams. These trainings were just simply groundbreaking. And then also for those of you that like, listen, I have a calling, but I'm not sure what I can do. We're going to help you to find your kingdom niche, how you can figure out what you're called to do and how you can help on your terms in a way that is authentic to you. And then also marketing like a pro. You can't have a business if you don't know how to market, if you do not know how to sell. Marketing and sales are the bloodline of your business. It doesn't make sense to be good if nobody never heard of you. Then we also have the system booster class so that you can learn about the systems and the tools out there that you need to know about that can help you to take your business to the next level. You can be working from home and grow your business to a mid-sized business. You can make 6 figures from home. You absolutely can. And we're going to talk about that. The coach and grow rich. How do I coach a client? How do I drive transformation on the coaching call? We're going to talk about that. And I get an opportunity to use my background in psychology. I am a psych major. I am a counseling major into this. And then I'm in seminary school as well. So I get to use all this good apologetic information. Apologetics is the defense of the Christian faith. All this great information. I also get an opportunity in the Speak and Grow Rich class. I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars taking classes with one of my favorites, Lisa Nichols, with sales guru Dan Locke. He will not step on stage unless you pay him a minimum of $50K. I get to take everything that I learned, plus my experience of traveling all around the world doing speaking engagements, coming from a teenager who had a speech impediment to now getting paid to speak is freaking amazing. I get to take all of that, wrap it up, and then offer it to you in these modules as well in our coaching sessions. And it goes on and on. Then we have another page of more and more modules. So as soon as you enroll, my point is that you get to hit the ground running. And even though our coaching calls are every 2 weeks, we meet sometimes 2 and 3 times a week. There's actually a calendar in there where you get to read about the events for the week. And the only thing you have to do is say, you know what, I'm interested in that event. You press add it to your calendar, and it automatically pops up on your calendar. So that way you can get reminders from the system. And you are actually, when you enroll, you're actually creating a system to hold yourself accountable so that your next year does not look like this year. All right, any questions before I send you into your breakout room?
Yes.
Go ahead.
You had coach and grow rich, speak and grow rich, pitch and grow rich. What was the fourth one?
Create content and grow rich.
Okay.
And I'm going to drop this link here in the chat. There you go. Please go in, read through it, and then, pray on it first. I don't want you to just do it because it's in front of you. Pray on it. Ask God, is this the direction you want me to go in? And if God says yes, and you get his approval, please, then only after you have included him in your decision, then make the decision to enroll. The community and I will be standing by to welcome you with both arms. Any other questions? Okay, let's get you into this breakout room. Now I'm opening up the breakout rooms right now. We have a small group today. Usually we have a lot more, but this is more of a pop-up rehearsal stage. When you get into your breakout room, if you see that there's no one in there, then pop into another one. The rooms that you get to go in are called Network With Me, Marketing Idea Exchanges. You can go into another room on speaking gigs, gratitude. I love the gratitude room. It just really raises the energy. You can go in and talk about writing books, podcasts, some challenges that you overcame, and even a prayer room. So the rooms are now open, loves. Take your mouse and just hover over the room. You will see where it says join. And the only thing you have to do is join, and then you hop around. Go in, ask questions about the topic. But if you have knowledge on the topic, pour into somebody else about the topic. I want you to treat it as though this is your platform and you're showing up as a CEO. This is an opportunity for you to take your future on a test drive.